All right, good evening. Welcome to the Village of Royal Palm Beach Recreational Advisory Board meeting, Monday, April 20th, 2026. We'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We'll go ahead with the roll call. I know John is not here today. Mike Lorimore. Here. Adam Miller. Here. Alfred De Paula.
Here.
Richard Valentis.
Here.
Myself, Timothy Kreutz. Dennis Siebert. Sandy Rubin, not here. Okay. Meeting minutes from last meeting held on February 2nd. Can we get a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any comments from the public? Anybody that has any questions or anything? No? How about the board? Anything from the board members?
You'll all get a second chance at the end of the meeting too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, with that, we'll roll right into the upcoming programs, events, and staff reports. Brandon, go ahead.
So we're gonna get going. We have our primary provider board presidents here. So we're gonna start with Gary Stelges. He's our president over the Youth Baseball and Softball Association of Royal Palm Beach, to give a program update. Yeah, Gary, you'd be that computer. Yeah.
Make sure you turn the mic on.
You came with gifts.
We came here in gifts. Oh, cool. Very cool.
Miss Clowns.
With you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
All right. So lots of exciting stuff going on. So since last time we presented, I'll kind of start with our summer 2025 successes. Last year, we actually were selected of all the leagues across the country to do a Babe Ruth national photo shoot. So that happened at Willows Park. So thank you to Mark, Brandon, Ron. We did a nice cleanup for that, made sure everything was pretty. But yeah, all of our folks are represented on their website and their new uniform attire. So it's pretty cool. On the baseball side for the summer, a couple of successes. We have a pretty big district here in South Florida and against the teams that we play against. So our 11U team finished 3rd place in the district. The 9U team finished 4th place. Softball really is where a lot of success has been. Some of you are aware of that, but we have a long history there from 2000 and I believe it's 21 to 23. The 14U girls, which were 12, 13, and 14, won the 14U state championship 3 years in a row as younger girls. And then the last year, I believe it was 2023, they won the National World Series, which was here in Florida. So that was pretty cool. So kind of following in their footsteps here, we have a younger group. Our 10U team finished number 6 in the state, 14U finished number 3rd, and our 8U team won the state championship. And they're currently the reigning state champions. So very excited for them. Something that changed this year, which was probably long overdue, but we officially changed our name from the Youth Baseball Association to the Youth Baseball and Softball Association of Royal Palm Beach. What you're going to hear in the next handful of facts here, I got a lot of data just to share with you, but a lot of successes, a lot of enrollment records this year. Most players we've ever had, 510 active total players. A good year for us is about 400, just to give you kind of a range. We have 47 total recreational teams between baseball and softball. We have 9 total tournament or travel teams in the spring. And we're going to be funding and hosting 19 all-star teams, which is also a record. So a lot of folks participating for a long time. So year-over-year growth, softball is up to 185 girls. So kind of walk back 3-4 years ago. Obviously not all me, but there's been a big push on that end. We had about 80 girls, right? So we've almost more than doubled that population. So we're very excited for the growth that we've seen. A lot to do with the success and the historical success of the program. But we have 4 T-ball teams in softball, 5 coach pitch teams, 4 10U teams, which is the first year of kid pitch, and 4 14U teams. For the first time ever, we'll have 4 all-star teams participating in the state tournament. They'll be in Lake City this summer in June. We still have our 2 active tournament teams. So we're excited for them, see what they can do this year again, because there's that same group of 8s are now 9s. And so they'll be able to go up there and compete again. And when I say it wasn't close, it wasn't even close. If I read off the scores to you guys, would be floored. It was like watching a football game. I was like, this can't be right. I kept hitting the refresh. But they did really, really well. Not as much growth, but still some growth on the baseball side. We're up about 41 players. We have 325 current players this spring. 4 3-4 teams, which is hysterical. If you guys have ever seen a bunch of 3-year-olds run around on a baseball field, I encourage you to come out on a Saturday. We have 7 T-ball teams, probably could add 8. We have 9 coach pitch or sling teams, which is that 8U division, almost 100 kids in that age group. We have 4 10U teams, 4 12U teams, and a couple of 16U. 16U is a little tougher because at that point they're in high school. So fall is normally a little better than spring. We have 9 all-star teams from baseball, which again is also a record. Almost every single age group has the age division represented, and some of them have A and B teams. And so there's actually a separate track for them to compete over the summer against other like-size B teams. And we have 7 tournament or travel teams, one of which will be going to Cooperstown, which is a big thing for the 12U age group. And then we have 14 and 16U, which will do showcases over the summer. Most of those are our high school kids from the area that compete, that are part of our program, that have came through our program. So that's very exciting to see. This is also a record, 200 plus volunteers in our league that have gone through all the checks, which is really awesome. So a lot of coaches, a lot of team moms, a lot of people just wanting to be involved. Actually, in a conversation I had with Mark the other day, he was like, it's the first time I've ever seen that many people running for the board. I said, it's awesome, right? I think we have 1 uncontested position, but all the rest, there's at least 2 people, if not 4 or 5. So really good to see the growth and the enhancement and the involvement of the league there. So things that we've done, really, these are just kind of new enhancements. I wore a uniform so you guys could see. We kind of went with the Savannah Banana themes, which is the hats as well. So that was pretty cool. That was a big hit for the kids. Invested a lot of money in new equipment, thanks to some big sponsors, so new slings, catcher's gear, L screens, and then also, intertwined with interleagues. Not something we necessarily have to do with the number of leagues we do, but we have a lot of surrounding leagues where they only have 1 team in each age group. And so I have a different philosophy probably than the rest. I'm like, if we don't play them, these kids don't play, right? So we host them, we go back and forth. That way they're able to kind of maintain that age group. So we generally interleague with Martin County and the acreage. And so that's always a good thing for us. I think it's a good thing overall on the kids. So another advanced training that we put in, the league was able to kind of fund and pay for. We have a professional coach that spends 1 hour on the coach's schedule, right? So they can pick the development they want, and they'll come out and actually spend time with them. Both these folks played professional or semi-professional ball, softball or baseball. And so they've been able to schedule some time with those folks and do some additional training, which is pretty cool. Some village enhancements. If you guys weren't aware of these are awesome enhancements. We got new hitting nets. The overheads were pretty old, so those all got replaced at Farron and Willows. LED lights, which is huge. A lot easier to see with the LEDs. And they don't go out or cost a truck to go up, right? And which is, I know, a little ridiculous. New infield grass on 3 and 4. So that's a big one for us. We had a complete park cleanup. You guys have seen the paintings. So they've painted the entire complex, both complexes. So it looks much nicer than it did. We've got a lot of compliments, which I shared with Mark. I'll just share with the group here on the grounds crew, just being on point for both parks this year. So that's good. Not that they haven't been in the past, but that's, they made it a point to tell me that as I was sharing, hey, this is what we're going to discuss, right? And they said, hey, make sure you give those guys some credit for the hard work they're doing. So we appreciate that. Some additional items we've been able to get through in-kind sponsorships that we're looking to get through in-kind sponsorships and working with the village here. So rebuilding some of the mounds, the general overhead nets over the walking space when you walk in. Willows isn't too bad, Ferns is pretty old. Redoing the boards, the scoreboards, so those are easier. Talked about expanding a couple of the fields to make them more T-ball friendly, and then enhancing the interior of our overall space for like the concession stands, because those have grown substantially, and we've had some good sponsors that have, you know, donated drinks and snacks, and really is a big plus for our league, right? Not to have to buy those things and be able to use that money to put back into equipment and programs and training for our staff. But could tell you, I couldn't be more proud to stand up here and represent them with the amount of folks that we've had involved. We have a very active board, which I tell you was not the case 3 years ago. And so most of them have younger kids in the league. 30 plus of our teams are an 8 and under out of 47 teams, right? So the overwhelming majority of our growth is in those younger age groups, right? So kind of my game plan for those guys is really we need to engage them, keep them involved, create those opportunities, right? Because if you guys are not aware, we'll probably hear with the other providers. I mean, travel's everywhere with all the different travel programs. And so there's no reason for them to leave. We offer all the same services, right? So that's our goal, is to kind of keep them involved in ours. We have a track record. I mean, I didn't list it out. I started to write the names and it got too long to read them off to you, but we have 60 plus kids participating on their JV and varsity baseball teams right now. They came through our program. And that's when I stopped. So you have a lot represented in Wellington that play in our program. You have a lot represented at Royal Palm Beach, Seminole Ridge. So that's a testament to our program, for them to be able to kind of compete at that level, which is really cool. We also have our camp every year where he comes back. Tristan McKenzie does a free camp. He's a Royal Palm Beach grad, came through the program, as did a couple others. So he has a kind of a free camp that we host every year. It's MLK weekend, normally at Farron. And so that's a really cool thing that we're able to do with him. So we're looking to grow more of those. We want more Tristan McKenzie's, right? So that's our general update for baseball and softball. Does anyone have any general questions or anything I can answer for you?
Just on background checks, because there's so many involved now, and of course, it's an issue today, right? Is it the same, you have to excuse my ignorance because I don't know what it's called, but is it the same type of thing that they do at the schools with a background check?
It is. So we have, I guess, lucky or unlucky for us, however you want to put it. So Babe Ruth has their own marker, right? So it is similar to what you guys require as well, as does the county, right? Abuse awareness, concussion training, those type of things. So there's like 5 Babe Ruth trainings that they're required to go through, including a coaching certificate. They do a level 1 background check, which is like a generic basic background check. But then we also, in addition to that, do the level 2s, which is the fingerprinting. And so, yeah, it's just an enhanced thing that was required by state law, but we have 200 plus in that because they stay on my books anyways, right? I don't get rid of them. They stay on there for 5 years. So, and we have had hits come up. Thankfully, those people don't participate in our organization, but I get an alert that says, hey, this person got arrested for this. So we got to be careful because they just got arrested. They weren't convicted. But luckily, the two things that we've had come up, those folks aren't involved in our program anymore. Actually, one was involved in the neighboring program. So I kindly picked up the phone and said, I don't know if they're in your system, but they showed up in mine. So you might want to double check that person. But yeah, it's very tedious, right? And it's actually fairly expensive too, but we have a mobile guy that comes out to try to make it easier for our folks, and they do it right there at the field, and then they submit it through the state. We also have, and I did not know this until recently, we have someone in our program that runs the local UPS stores. And so they do the fingerprinting at the UPS stores too. So now instead of having the truck, if we have these one-offs, which is always the issue, right? You get a bulk of them and then you have like 4 or 5 people you got to do. Now we can send them to the local UPS store to get it done.
Perfect.
And it's done quick. It's done. I get a response in probably 24 to 48 hours at the max. But yeah, they're not allowed to step foot on the field until those are completed.
Great.
Absolutely.
And then what about security in light of, like, there was another shooting today at a school?
That's a great question. The only thing I can tell you there is we do have a lot of law enforcement that participate in our program. I can tell you at least a handful just in the teams that I'm involved in. I have 3 kids that participate, 14, 11, and 7. And I think every single one of them has at least one sheriff that's on the team. Now they're not actively working, but we have some representation there. And there are pretty good patrols. I will tell you from 3 years ago, we used to have, I'll call it more of a homeless issue where they would come and sleep underneath the overhangs and use the bathrooms. I haven't seen a homeless person in probably the past year. And so from that side of the security feature, obviously whatever we're doing on the sheriff's side to kind of keep that clear, it's working. Also, we had an issue with the high schoolers kind of coming over, and we don't really have that issue anymore either. So whatever they've started is working. I think part of locking the bathrooms in the middle of the day is probably helpful too, some of them, because they can't go over and, utilize that part of the field. Yes. Awesome. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your support.
Appreciate it, Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll leave it on.
All right, next we have Mal Hassan. He's our president over soccer, the Royal Palm Beach Strikers organization. And he will give you an update on that program.
Hello, everybody. I want to call him Mr. Miller because my kid he's a principal and my kid went to school. So hello, Mr. Miller. I'm Mal Hassan. I'm the president and director of coaching for Royal Palm Beach Strikers soccer program. I've been involved with the program since 2011. The program, both on the recreation side and the competitive side, have grown significantly during that 15-year period. We can just start out with the numbers on the recreation side. I pulled a 5-year check just to show the growth of the program. Going back to 2022 fall, we had 446 kids in the recreation program. 2023 spring, 575. 2023 fall, 649. 2024 spring, 736. 2024 fall, 673. 2025 spring, 677, 2025 fall, 645, and currently 2026 spring, we're up to 720 kids in the recreation program. All is very, very well with regards to the growth in the program. It can be attributed to several factors. Despite our I don't want to say trouble, very difficult getting volunteers. It's a lot of work, and all of our coaches are volunteers. I'd like to say our zero tolerance for nonsense, I believe has become very well respected from our members, and they appreciate the fact that they can bring their kids to the field to play soccer and to have an enjoyable experience without any nonsense, without any drama, without any problems. A lot of work getting to that, and we still struggle trying to maintain that. They always say the dream soccer team is a team comprised from an orphanage, because on this way you don't have to deal with any of the parents. But so sometimes the adults ruin it for the kids. But that's one of our big things. We've established a culture within the program where it is family friendly. We stress that it is not a business to us. And as long as I've been in charge of the program, it's very family based. Everyone knows each other regardless of the growth of the program. We're accessible to all of the members. They appreciate that. And it's great seeing kids grow, get older, go through the program. And what's pretty cool is just that whole community-based thing. Gary with baseball was saying the same thing. The kids that are in our program, whether it's Royal Palm Beach High School or the middle schools over here, Semler Ridge High School, Wellington, Berean, Kings Academy, Palm Beach Gardens, I mean, Lake Worth, you name it, they all come. And it's pretty neat come school soccer time, because then you have all the trash talking between the kids. And it's friendly trash talking because everybody knows each other. The coaches even know each other. Several of the coaches in our program actually also coach in the schools in the area. So it's total community where everybody's involved with one another. It's pretty neat to see that. Our competitive program, from a number standpoint, going back to the 21-22 season, we were at 198 kids, then 239, then 272, then 346, and this year we're at 388. So when you combine the 388 and the 720 in the rec, we're, what is that, about 1,100 kids in the program for the fall season, which is, or for the spring season, as opposed to going back to 2021 when we were at roughly 550 kids. So the program has grown. Want to thank Mark and Brandon and Ron, all of our requests that we are constantly bombarding you guys with, and you guys have always accommodated us. You're always there for us, and without the fields, we have no program. It's a pretty simple concept. It's, I mean, it is what it is. We're at that stage where we are now number wise, we're pretty much at full capacity with what we have, facility wise, without it becoming an issue. If any of you guys are ever in the area on the weekends and you come, the parking situation, everything, it's gotten pretty intense to the point where we're managing it, but we're probably at the max of where we can probably be at this time. Our competitive teams, we participate in the National Premier League, which is the top league that you can play in the state. We also play in the Florida State Premier League and the Sunshine League. We have teams in the State Cup, President's Cup, and Commissioner's Cup. Just recently, one of our former players just signed a professional contract with Charlotte FC. He's a 16-year-old kid. So that's pretty awesome. All right. In years past, one of the kids that I personally coached was given an $80,000 scholarship to attend IMG Academy, from which he graduated, and he played Division I ball over at Villanova University. We've had several Division I, Division II, Division III players. The Olympic development program that they have for the state, every year we continuously have people that are participating in that and selected to participate in it. This year alone, we had 12 kids that were selected for the ODP program. 5 were actually from one team, which is pretty remarkable. So, you know, we kind of are proud of that. One of our coaches who's been with the program he was with our recreation program for, I want to say 3 years, which would be 6 seasons. And he's been in our competitive program since then. What we do with our rec coaches, we encourage them to pursue coaching licenses through the courses that are offered through the state or through U.S. Soccer. The program actually pays for those courses to be taken. So to assist the coaches with getting the license, we feel the more educated our coaches are, that knowledge trickles down to the kids. So this one coach in particular, this is his 10th year with us. And this year he's going to be, I just spoke with one of the U.S. Soccer academies in the area, and he's going to be leaving us and coaching over there, which is a great honor. And I'm very proud to say that was a homegrown coach that we've got set up now, because this is something he'd like to do as a career. So good for him with that. Let me see, what else? What else? I guess that's about it. I feel like I talk so much. Does anybody have any questions? No? Good, I was thorough then, huh? All right, well, thank you, all of you, for what you do.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So now, so real quick though, coming up though, you have your end of the season finals coming up soon?
Yes, and I was actually gonna speak with you guys afterwards. I didn't know if this was the proper, way to do it. Our finals for our recreation program are the weekend of May 2nd on that Saturday. And I was gonna personally invite you guys to all attend, including the council members. We are gonna formally type up a little invitation and forward it to Mark and Brandon, and then have them distribute it accordingly, because we didn't know what the proper manner would be to do that. We'd love to have you guys there so that you can see the growth of the program and how we operate it. I know Rich is somewhat familiar with it. Seems like ages ago. And I know John is has been involved with the program for years. He's not in it this year, I don't believe. They think his son.
His kids are graduating
His
too.
kids graduating, so, but we'd love to have you guys attend. We hand out the trophies. It's finals weekend. We give the trophies out for, first, second, and third place. Everybody pretty much gets something. The little kids, we don't have playoffs for, but we do give them participation trophies. And then we do the whole spiel at the end of every award, handing out where we let them know about the upcoming season and other events that we might have, and we encourage them to, pre-register for the following year. So, but we'd love to have you guys there. All right, Mr. Miller, I'm sure you would know like a lot of the kids over there. You've probably been involved with them in some capacity. Oh, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man. All right. So next up, we have Ms. Claudine Gooden. She is the president of the Royal Palm Beach Stars, our travel basketball provider.
Hello, good evening. My name is Claudine Gooden, president of Royal Palm Beach Stars. So we've been in business since 2009. We gratefully were honored the pleasure of being the youth basketball provider for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. Since then, like everybody else, we had our up and down, and COVID did kind of take us out, but I'm happy to report we're still here. Our numbers grew from 2021 to present. We've had a 32% increase each year. This year, we were able to entertain more teams. Thankfully and graciously enough to Ron and Brandon and Mark, they allowed us to have more gym time, which allowed us to keep some teams that we lost previously due to space and trying to work it out with outside and inside. And it was adversity that we were able to overcome this year. So I'm very grateful for that. According to our numbers for this year, we had 112 submissions for tryouts. We ended up looking over 87 registration for our higher end basketball program. We currently partnered with Limitless Stars, Limitless Basketball. They're an elite shoe program, and they wanted to, hone in more on players in our area, as well as offer players nationally to play in our organization. So we partnered with them in order to bring the Puma shoe circuit into our program. That was a great boost for the kids in our area because we did play local area tournaments, and we went as far as Orlando, or a couple of years going to Georgia. This year, actually, my ears are blocked because I just got off a flight and we came back from Detroit where we did pretty well. We had a skeleton crew because I find that this year, although we've increased in our numbers, we do see that our parents are facing financial difficulties. So we went up there with a skeleton crew and we came out 2-2, which was fine. It was above, I said, as long as we were at 500, we can work from there. The previous week, we did go to Gainesville, and we came out 3-1, which I'm pretty happy about that because I got to see a lot of growth and development and putting out a few things that we had to make an adjustment on, and they did. So I'm grateful for them being coachable and then seeing tangible results immediately thereafterwards. So we have 3 shoe circuit teams. We have a regional team for our grade 10 and 9, and we have a development team for our grade 7, 8, and 9 group. We decided to do a 3-tier system where we still kept the development side, which we're very well known for in the community. We take pride in developing our kids properly. And I guess my trophies is when other programs come and take them. But they always come back home. I'm very proud to report that we do have a culture in our basketball community. I just actually received a couple of messages like, Coach, you ever thought about doing post-grad? And I'm like, I just put elite basketball on our plate, but I will definitely revisit it at some time. Brandy, you might get a couple of inquiries from other parties in regards on how we can expand, and offering some sort of post-grad or prep school to fill in some of the gaps that are occurring, of course, in our industry. The NCAA has considered, 5th, 6th, 8th year and is now looking at their eligibility requirements in terms of whether they are going to bring back pros that did not fully complete 4 years of eligibility. So we're currently swimming through that dynamic, as well as keeping our players positive and in shape. And first and foremost, the focus on academics. I am a former D1 athlete myself. And I told them I saved our department some money because of academics, the academic scholarship that went through. Currently at this time, we are in season for those 3 tiers. Our local group, our baby group, as we call them, they participate at the New Wellington Sports Academy, which absolutely looks fantastic. I hope to compete with them once we have our gym up and running, which has always been on our wish list, and I'm so glad to hear that it's finally going through. Beautiful plans going forward. In lieu of that, I did go ahead and form some partnerships with people that I've known for 20 plus years being in basketball. We started to do our Rising Stars events, which is the best of middle school players playing in our gym. It allowed us to connect with the new set of players that are coming in, elite players that are coming in. Also for them to check out our facility. They're like, oh, I didn't know this was over here. And it's like our facility just pops up out of the forest on them. So that was really good feedback to hear. We have done Nike camps in the past, and we're looking forward to do so in the future. And we're looking to see if we possibly could do, with now this new form relationship with Puma, to do Puma camps and offer some clinics in our area. In terms of trends in our market, we see that shoe circuits, of course, is something that's very attractive to our players. I found out that team camps are now on a rise, so I'm looking to invite some coaches who cannot necessarily do that week team camp that they like to do. I like to formulate where they'll come in like 2 days and another university come in 2 days, another university come in 2 days, and then have our week camp. So they have full exposure to different coaches and programs. It's kind of hard to get on the road with rising situations. When a couple of my parents, they couldn't make it to Detroit. They're like, the price went up. I'm not really stable. So I just wanted to find different ways to have them have those coaches come to our gym and still make it work for our community. In terms of challenges, I'm like, the only challenges is I'm wondering when the shovels will hit the floor for the new gym. Also, too, if there's well, that would come with that new structure, locker room, somewhere where we can meet without infringing on other meeting rooms. But so far, the village has been very kind to us in terms of listening to my nagging and finding a way instead of just like closing the door and making it feel like, all hope is lost. So I'm very grateful for that. Are there any questions or anything I may address?
I would just say we're all looking forward to the second gym being built.
I'm pretty sure
is
it'll
true.
work out for all of us. Thank you. Yeah, I've plotted out all day, so you're going to have to tell me no at some point. All right, that's all I have for today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Rontavius Atkins, can you come up, please?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Evening.
Like I said, my name is Rontavius Atkins. Everyone call me Ron. I will give you guys an update on our upcoming events we got going on right now. Right now, we're in the middle of the season with co-ed youth volleyball, ages from 11 to 14. We have pretty much of 8 teams, 14 for juniors and 14 for our senior. So we have over 100 kids right now in that program. We do an interlocal agreement with Crestwood Middle School in order to use their gym as well, because our numbers continue to grow every season or pretty much stay the same. Also, right now, we're in the middle of spring and summer basketball for adults. We have a total of 12 teams right now. All the games are held on Sundays. We have over 120 players also for adult basketball. Co-ed youth basketball for grades K through 8, we pretty much wrapped up in March. We had a total of over 200 kids participate this year. And we had a total of over 24 teams and 26 coaches. All our coaches are volunteer coaches, either they coaches for the community or coaches from the parents. We always have someone step up, pretty much be the parents of previous coaches in the community. Right now, too, in summer camp registration pretty much filled up pretty fast within the first week or two. Summer camp start June 8th to July 31st, and age from 5 to 13. Each section, we have 4 sections. Each section is broke off into 25 kids. Like I said, we pretty much filled. Early childhood, we have early childhood. We have Ms. Angie here tonight. She continues to provide service to us for our preschool classes and VPK classes. Our VPK classes hold 18 kids, 2 teachers, and our pre-K kids hold 2 teachers and 16 kids max. So in that field, and also programs. Other programs we have going on, we have youth tennis at Camellia Park. We have karate monthly at the Recreation Center, and we also have private golf lessons at Commerce Park. Inside the recreation, through Monday through Friday, 9 to 1, we have pickleball come in, open play for pickleball. Monday through Friday, 9 to 1. We have probably 150 people participate. For this summer, when we shut down for the summer for renovation, our pickleball players will be able to come back Monday and Wednesday from 6:30 to 8:45. So I know we have a lot of questions about what we're going to do for pickleball. So this summer, we will have pickleball Monday and Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. for pickleball. Other programs we have, other fitness programs we have yoga, total body conditioning, and we also have our annual fitness room membership, which people love coming in daily, all the time. And pretty much my sports providers pretty much summed up they part of the portion for me as well. So that's pretty much from my end. I know I talk pretty fast.
It's all good.
All good.
Ron, like you just quickly mentioned too, so not just all those programs is he in charge of, but also he's our first point of contact with all the provider groups too. And so he's got that, and then Brandon is the backup, and if they can't get all of those two, I'm the third guy in line.
Nope.
So
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
just one thing just to follow up that he did mention about pickleball, because we did have an inquiry about like, what are we going to do for the summer? And it's actually during the summertime because we have summer camp in the gym during the day.
Yeah.
So the pickleballers are always nervous that they're not going to have a place even to come indoors and play, but we still give them 2 nights. We know now where the construction schedule is not going to impact the summer yet. So we're confident about that part. So we'll have 2 nights of pickleball, 2 nights of open gym, and 1 night of travel basketball during the week.
Yep. And that's consistent with what our normal summer schedule would be. So we were able to go through it unchanged for this summer.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Ron.
Oh, you want?
Now we'll have Mark give his update.
All right, so I'm going to go over our capital projects just to give you an update on where we're at. So the Recreation Center expansion and remodeling project is finally approved by the council and moving forward. We're going to be having a groundbreaking next Wednesday, the 29th. It's actually at 10 o'clock in the morning, not 10:30. And I know actually the big question always in the rec center right now is what is going to be the part of the project where the whole building is shut down, because that's when we're going to have to either find a new home for programs or suspend programs for that duration. So we do not have that schedule finalized yet with our contractor. They are working on that right now with their subs. And so the easy way for my front desk staff to answer that question, as soon as we know something, we're going to post it, and then you'll be able to have that question answered from us as well. So we know we're clear through the summer. We're not sure about the fall yet, but there will come a time when the whole building is closed down. So we have worked it out within our schedule though, like for the early childhood wing, the only work can only occur during the months of June and July. So it doesn't interrupt their school schedule. So half the work or maybe 3/4 of the work will get done this summer and the rest of the work will get done the following summer. So, but that project, and then obviously we'll have updates on the village's website too as it progresses. We do have a nice rendering in the building that definitely helped answer some of the questions about like, what do you mean? What are you doing? And once we put up that big drawing in the lobby there, that helped answer a lot of those questions about that. So
Is it possible to use the high school?
it is. So we do. So depending on what's available. So we will definitely utilize our schools under an interlocal agreement with them. Like Ron had mentioned, we're already in Crestwood Middle School, and we'll certainly lean on that. So the athletics maybe have a little bit more of an advantage because they can use other schools for gyms, but the other program areas too. And so right now we'll be looking to use our cultural center or even the sporting center as a temporary location, even right across the parking lot here at the Cypress Hall, even though it's a single room, but a lot of our stuff only involves a single room use. So we may use that as well. So, the next item is the porticature at the entry for the cultural center. There's only a few, there still remains a few final punch list items, but functionally it's done and working over there across the street. Veterans Park, repurposing of the old splash pad area that's going to get torn out, and all the plumbing work from underneath the ground is going to get taken out of there. And then it's going to become a passive area in the center of the park as an ornamental area of the park. We've got our pre-construction walkthrough meeting with the contractor next week. So that program will be up and started, and by the end of the summer, or early summer, it'll be completed. And the Bob Marcello lighting upgrade, as Gary had mentioned too, about the switching over, all the fields now except for one have LED lights, and field 5 is the last one.
Yes, field 5.
That doesn't have LED lights, and that's only because it's still under warranty with the other lights with Musco. So, while we're under warranty, and they have to, every time a light goes out, they have to fix it. So, but eventually that one will go too. So. But I could tell you, just driving down the street at night, once the LED lights, the light was so much more concentrated on the fields. And then obviously we know the energy consumption is way less with LED lights than the previous lights too. So there's operational savings there as well. The disc golf pads that was completed out there at Commons Park. The all access playground, the council just 2 months ago, they approved the contractor to do the work. Last month, they approved the playground equipment to be purchased. There is 8 to 10 week lead time on that playground equipment, so that's going to get ordered. And then it's probably within 60 days after that project will be completed. So there'll be a nice addition out there to Commons Park. Quite honestly, if it can't be done fast enough before 4th of July, I'll probably hold it to start July 6th on that Monday so that it doesn't interfere with our 4th of July festival that we have going on in the park. The artificial turf at Katz Fields, we're still waiting for official notification on our LAWSEF grant. I'm surprised Mal didn't bring that up because I know with their 1,000 participants, and if you get a chance, if you can't make it out for May 2nd, come out and look at the fields. You'll see the condition of them. They're in need of like something like this when you have that large of a participation group. And then there's other emerging sports too that could use that too. Like I know I've been contacted by lacrosse groups and flag football, and we don't have a place to put them. Whereas we might have some space on the weekends, in the evenings or at late afternoons, but we're not going to let somebody else come on those fields and with the natural grass because it can't handle any more traffic than that's on there right now. So hopefully we hear some good news soon. And then we can kind of put that on the radar of the schedule for another capital improvement project. It'll probably be something that will get phased in where we'll do one half of the complex first. So we're not totally without because we don't have an alternate location, one half and then the other half. And then we certainly will have to work with the schools too during that time under construction. The Katz soccer field concession stand was replaced. And we are actually looking at this, not on the list yet, but it'll be on my next list at our next meeting. We are looking at replacing the lighting at Katz soccer fields because we have probably 40% of the lights are out right now. And when we start looking at just replacing the old lights with old lights versus switching them to LED after the Bob Marcello project, it makes a lot of sense to just look at doing the new lights with LED there as well. So, all right, is there any questions? Anybody has any of the projects?
All right. Thank you, Mark. Any other questions from members of the community or board members? No? Okay. Our next meeting is July 20th. We'll have Stephen Pointer, Events and Facilities Manager, presenting. I'd like to thank the high school students sitting in on the meeting for coming tonight. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second? Second. Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
All right,
Thank
thank you. As always, if you have any other questions, follow up, don't hesitate to reach out to me.